If you find it difficult to know which friend requests to accept and which ones to refuse, then this video is for you. Hello, I'm Sophie, Millionaire Mom, and I bring you the tools, the courses, and the mindset that you need to make a success online. If you are using Facebook for business, you are probably getting a ton of friend requests, and very often it's difficult to know which one to accept and which one to refuse. This is exactly what my colleague Jonathan and myself talked about.
Tonight, what we wanted to talk about is, again, Facebook profiles, Facebook friends, how to know which friend requests to accept or not. Because what happens is when we start using Facebook for business, we all start getting bombarded with friend requests. And, when you start online, obviously you have quite a lot of time and you can go through the friend requests manually. But after a while, I certainly started to become completely overwhelmed and not quite knowing which one to accept and which one not to accept. I don't know if that was the case with you, Jonathan, but I'm guessing it was.
Absolutely. It's more of also a time constraint. There's just so much time that just going through everybody and putting it on yourself. Somebody sends you a friend request, and then you're putting all that time on yourself to go through their profile. And I don't know about you, Sophie, but 90% of the people that send me friend requests, they're mostly spammers that just want to get something from me and not something that we can, work together.
Exactly. That's exactly the case with me. I mean, absolutely. There's a huge amount of spammers, a huge amount of people who want to sell to me. And then, it's a question of going through these and deciding which ones to accept or not. So as you say, Jonathan, as we progress online, we just don't have the time to do it. So it's a case of, you were saying before we went live, it's a case of either hiring someone to do the work for us or using an automated tool really that will help us with that. So that's what we wanted to, show everybody what we use. We both use the same tool, which is called Friend or Foe. And we wanted to, I'll share my screen. I'll show you how the tool works and also then how we decide, which friend request to accept or not. And what I certainly have a few indicators that tell me, well, this is going to be a good person to accept or not, really. Shall I go ahead, share my screen?
Yeah. Go through it and show everybody how it works.
Okay. So, okay, this is my Facebook. I think, do I need to go on my profile? No, not necessarily.
Let's start with the actual extension.
Exactly. So this is the actual extension called Friend or Foe. Both Jonathan and I have videos on our YouTube channels about the extension if you want to know more about it. But, this is really to show you how it works. So, this extension, basically, you write out some messages. So I have 2 message templates that I've written, but you can have up to 10 different messages. I don't know how many you have, Jonathan. Do you?
I have about 6 right now, but occasionally I add a new one and I just make it fresh and add it in. And one of the key things about this is it randomly grabs one of these messages. And then as you could see right there, it's kind of small on the screen, but you could put the code that says the person's name. And what it will do is it will pull the person's first name. So if Sophie sent me a friend request, it's like, and it would reply to Sophie, it would be like, "Hi, Sophie, thank you for sending me a friend request." And it feels more personal that way, as some of mine, I actually say that it is a bot, that this is an automatic response. I admit to that. And, to say, hey, this is an automatic response. I'm just trying to find out how we met. Could you just let me know where we met or where we know each other, just to make sure that this is going to be a good connection. That way you're pre-qualifying the people and you're not wasting either of your time.
Exactly. I do exactly the same thing, Jonathan. I basically say, I get some friend requests that are not so friendly. I'd love to know, where did we meet? There I say, where did we meet? Or how did you find me? I look forward to your reply, but I do put a PS and I say, this is a message I send automatically using a super friendly Chrome extension. I do admit to it, but yeah, it still, as you say, feels very personal because you can personalize it. And as you said, Jonathan, if you click on this, it alternates messages. So it kind of basically doesn't send the exact same message to everybody. And, you can set it. I set it to send messages to the newest requests first.
That's right. If they'll remember that they sent you the request. More like sometimes if you haven't run the extension for a while, you might have people from a month ago, and they're not going to remember that they reached out to you.
Exactly. Absolutely. And, you can set the timing, you can set the number of messages that it sends every day. You've got to be careful not to send too many. Otherwise, Facebook could flag you for, sending too many messages. Mm-hmm. And the great thing about this is, again, you can set it to delete the request and turn the person into a follower after a certain amount of days. So I've actually set it to after 5 days. That's not very much, actually. But,
somewhere between 7 and 14 is probably a good 1 to 2 weeks. Give yourself time to reply. And if they don't reply in that amount of time, then, they're obviously not going to be a good connection to make.
Exactly. So, that's basically the way it works. When you've set it up, you just turn it on and it's just running. They have recently added this LinkedIn feature, which I think you haven't used either, have you? I haven't.
I don't really use LinkedIn very much, but I know I should. So I'm going to be looking into LinkedIn and actually finding out how it would work, because if that could be something that we could utilize to get more leads faster, especially if this tool works for it, then it'd be definitely something to look into.
Absolutely, I agree. That's what I plan to do. I'm doing as well. Absolutely, but this feature is very new, as far as I can tell. Only about a week or two.
Yeah, it's been about a week.
Exactly.
Another thing about one thing that I've been doing is when somebody sends you a friend request, they're not opting into anything from you, and they haven't, it's not like if you join a Facebook group, they've given you an email list, they join your email list, because that's really where since you're on several platforms, your real presence is your email list, because if you got shut down on one platform, you still have your email list. So one thing that I do is I include a link, and I use like a shortened link. You can use Bitly or any of the other link shorteners and add them here. And you could have that link that goes to a lead magnet, which people will opt into your email list in order to get. That way, somebody that sent you a friend request is now opted into your email list, because even though they are the ones that reached out and tried to, it could even be another marketer or somebody online that is now on your list and now in your ecosystem because they reached out to you.
That's an absolutely excellent idea, actually, Jonathan. Absolutely. I must say I haven't done that, but you're giving me an idea. Absolutely.
Make sure that you put a different shortened link in every single message. That's one thing that I'd recommend. Otherwise, it will show the same link being shared over and over again. It could be to the same affiliate link or the same lead magnet, but just put a different shortened link in every single one, so it doesn't look like you're just sending the same link to every single person that sends you a friend request.
Exactly. That's very good advice. Absolutely. Yeah. So do you have anything more to add on the extension, Jonathan?
The thing that I love about it is that it's so straightforward. And you could scroll down. I just saw that they did add another little feature. They just added it so you could set what time you want. If you wanted, before it would start automatically at midnight, so all my friend request messages would come in at midnight. So if you wanted it to seem a little bit more like when you're awake, that's a good little feature that they've added. So you could say, hey, or when you're not using your computer, or when you don't want to, maybe you're going to run a different extension. Like I use a different Chrome extension in order to send friend requests to people and make it personal. So I don't want to run those at the same time. So I schedule those at different times.
Exactly, exactly. I do the same. And as you say, exactly, absolutely, that's a new feature. And so that's really, really valuable, really, absolutely.
I hope you're enjoying this video. If you're finding it helpful, make sure you give it a like, subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video.
So the next tab I wanted to share is, for instance, there you go. This is one. Is that what you were thinking of?
Yeah, just what it would look like. It comes through as a normal message, and you do have a link there, I see.
Exactly. Yes. So what I do is I put a link, because I say this is a Chrome extension, and I say, if you want to check it out, and I've got a link to the actual tool, because I get a lot of requests from other online marketers, I'll figure, well, maybe they'd be interested in this, so I have had a few opt-ins, actually, a few clicks on that, not that many, but
So what you could do is you could put a bridge page in between the link, the affiliate link, and then you could still, like I was saying, collect people's email addresses that have reached out to you. And even if they don't buy this Chrome extension, maybe they opt in and then you have an email about it and they see it later and they still buy the Chrome extension or something else that you're offering. Just depends.
You're totally right. You're totally right. No, absolutely. I really should do that. And I don't quite know why I haven't. So that will be on my to-do list for next week.
Yeah.
But absolutely. And as you can see, this is a completely normal, message, just exactly like would be sent, if I've done it manually. So I pulled up this one, actually, because this was, for me, a really good example that I wanted to share of this very nice person, Dominic. I have accepted the friend request. So for him, where he was the typical example of someone, I had no idea why he was sending me a friend request, and then the message went out automatically, and the reply I got was very interesting for me, because Dominic said, "Thanks, you're welcome. I watched a number of your Facebook lives and I like that you're genuine and honest." And that for me was a complete surprise, and one of the things that I find in this online business is that often I think nobody's noticing me or nobody's watching, and actually suddenly I find out that somebody has been watching, but I've never known because they've never reached out to me. Mm-hmm. So I had no idea, in this case, for this example, that Dominic had been watching me in a way. And then I accepted the request and we had a few conversations, and I'm hoping I was able to help him a little bit. But that was an interesting one where, looking at his profile, I wouldn't necessarily have thought that he'd been, watching me and that I could do anything to help him. But using this tool, it actually, and I might have refused the request, but using this tool, it allowed me to see that actually maybe I could help a little bit, and it was a good friend request to accept. So. Yeah, I thought I'd just share this example.
Yeah. And Sophie, a big thing about like this is most people that are out there, they don't know to send, like, if I send a friend request, I know that I need to send them a message along with the friend request. But I only know that because I've been involved in, this online marketing space, and I learned that from being involved in this online marketing space. But there was a point that I didn't know that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're perfectly right. Totally.
Most people don't know that. So the fact that you're now, and if you're trying to help somebody that's just getting started, they're not very likely to know that. So you need to go down to, not down to their level, but down to where they're thinking of, like, oh, this is how somebody just getting started is thinking. So are they going to send me a message? They don't know what to do. So now you're replying, and if it's somebody that actually wants to get involved with you, they're far more likely to reply. Like, they sent you a friend request because they actually want to connect and they want to learn from you or connect with you. And they don't know that they need to send you a message in order to introduce themselves. So you break the ice on your end, and now you form a connection. And then also, when some people are just going to shoot you the thumbs up or like, okay, or something very obvious that they're not going to provide me value, and I'm not going to be able to provide them value. They're just probably trying to sell me Bitcoin or something.
Totally. Exactly. That's exactly right. And, I remember when I was first starting, I had no idea that people were getting so many friend requests because, I had a Facebook account, a normal one with like 200 friends. Most of them I knew in real life. And I had no idea. So if if I sent a message to someone who I thought might be able to help me, I didn't know, as you say, I didn't know that I should send a message at the same time. So this really, for me, this has really helped me in a big way. This friend extension, this extension, and really, I think I've probably been able to help a few people thanks to it, because I would have just refused the friend request or not responded to it had I not known, had I not given them the chance to tell me that they needed my help. You know what I mean? So I think that's really, really powerful.
One thing is, like, even if you're just getting started and you don't have money to invest in like a extension or something like, still do stuff like this. Still go to the messages, both when you send friend requests, send a personalized message. And also when you're checking your friend requests, go there, check out their profile, and vet those people. Just the only thing is, these tools, they make that automatic and go. It just frees up your time significantly, because I was spending hours doing that when I just got started. And then, once you have a little bit of money, then you could invest in a tool, but still do those best practices of actually reaching out to people that you are friend requesting and that have sent you friend requests.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. You're so right. It's so important. And the more you message people as well, the more they're likely to see your posts, the more you're likely to see their posts as well. So it helps in many ways, definitely. I think the more Facebook sees us engaging, the more it's going to show our content. So unfortunately, I don't have a good example of a friend request where the person, as you said, gave me a thumbs up or gave me a perfect example of a request that I will not accept. But we've exchanged
a reply with a link. A lot of people will send you a friend request, you'll send the link, and they'll send a giant reply with like a list of their affiliate links.
Yes.
Like, now you haven't wasted your time getting into some sort of conversation with this person. You could, you could block them, or you could just ignore them.
Exactly. I mean, some people will they will just straight away reply, have you invested, do you trade or whatever, and things like that. And
subscribe to my YouTube channel is another.
Exactly.
And then they'll just keep on sending you a link to their, that's not, if on the YouTube side, that's not a way to grow on YouTube. You're just going to get people that aren't going to watch your content. It's going to hurt the algorithm, and then you're not really helping yourself, or nobody, you're just hurting your channel by doing that.
Exactly. So it's kind of, it's easy. It's a lot easier to sort the good people from the not so good people. So yeah. Is there anything else we wanted to add, Jonathan? Or I think
that's pretty much it. The thing about that, the friend or foe, and these, I love Chrome extensions, or I think a lot of them are on Firefox as well. But I love the extensions just because they simplify your life, and they do things that repetitive tasks that used to take a long time, that just does on autopilot, and makes it feel like, to the other side, that you're still doing it manually, and then you could actually put the attention on the people that need the attention, versus just the people that are wasting your time. So I think it's really valuable to, even if you don't get this one, look into other extensions that are going to like simplify things and automate things, but only if it's a good one, like ones that send the same message to everybody, or that's very obvious, like auto responds on like Facebook, on the timeline, that just auto posts. Those ones, they're very obvious. But things like this, where you could automate, find the spots that you could automate and focus on those.
I hope you enjoyed this training. If you did, make sure you give the video a like, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a video. If you want to know more about how to use Facebook for your business, I have a series of videos on the topic. Just make sure you check my Facebook tutorials playlist. If you want me to make a video on a particular topic, this channel is for you. It's to answer your questions. It's to make content that serves you. So please, please let me know. I will be very pleased to do it. And finally, if you want to know more about the extension that Jonathan and I were talking about, friend or foe, I made a video about it. Make sure you watch it. It's just there.